You are listening to AM Thunder, the official pay-per-view review show of Kayfabe Talk Radio. And now your hosts, Eric the Red and Mr. Bones. Man, NXT, motherfucker. Welcome everyone to this episode of AM Thunder. I am Eric the Red, joined along with, as always,
Mr. Boatsaw, and he's tired. Oh man, no, on the shoot side of things, I was really fucking tired, man. I literally was able to watch Ring of Honor, and I was able to watch NXT.
Oh, dude, you watched the whole ROH show?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I was able to watch that. I didn't. To be honest, I didn't watch the whole ROH show. I watched as much as I could. But
oh god,
that was a really good show. But somehow NXT fucking blew everybody out of the park.
Oh, dude. God.
Shit they did. The shit they did. Holy shit.
I gotta, alright, for everyone, for all our listeners, we gotta give you some shoot notes as well as, updates here. So, you gotta forgive us. This is a lot of fucking wrestling. Like, the fact that I willingly pulled an all-nighter from Saturday going into Sunday, I did not go to bed from, like, a little bit. I woke up a little late on Saturday, and then didn't go to bed till, like, a little after 1 o'clock on Sunday night. Just to, like, because I stayed up, had a lot of fucking caffeine, watched a lot of fucking wrestling, and, yeah. But, nah, fucking, so what we're gonna do here is me and Bones. So we're gonna talk Ring of Honor. We're gonna talk NXT New Orleans, and then shortly after this, I'm gonna put up a review of WrestleMania. It will not be live. It's gonna be recorded, and I'm gonna put it up on YouTube for everybody. And the next KTR we're on, we'll probably do one next week. KTR 104. I will give Bonesaw the floor for, a good 20 minutes, or maybe even more, as much as he wants to talk about Mania. And, the past Raws, and by that time we'll get the shake-up. We'll already be starting, so, yeah. Next week we'll talk more about, the current climate of the main roster and all that. But this week, there's a lot of shit that went on outside of Mania. We had, obviously we had NXT New Orleans, we had, Ring of Honor, but I watched Evolve, I watched Impact versus Lucha, 102 I should clarify, I didn't watch 103, Joey Janela's Spring Break, number 2, Matt Riddle's Bloodsport, so, I didn't see CZW, so, yeah, wrestling.
Oh my gosh. I didn't completely finish what I was saying before. The whole reason, because I would have been able to see watch WrestleMania if not for the fact my stupid ass decided to I work in New York, and I work as a doorman. That's my shoot profession. But the whole side of that was I switched with somebody, and then I had to end up doing a double shift. But because I couldn't go the fuck home because of Parts Unknown's shitty light rails system, I kind of had to stay there. So I was literally on no sleep and for almost 38 hours. So, yeah, you're lucky I even got through fucking NXT and Ring of
Yeah.
Honor. So,
Oh yeah. Shit, man. I commend you for that.
what do you want to start off with first? NXT.
Yeah. We'll go into NXT. Um, not a lot. There's really nothing bad I could really talk about. I mean, even from the little from the production side to even like the little of the little details the logo's badass. Like I would wear they came out with a tee. Even though I wasn't at New Orleans, I would totally wear that shirt with the fucking skull in the middle. They opened up with the band Cane Hill, who I never heard of before this, but they came out and they're doing they start off and it's like fucking they're just growling and it's like fucking just like sounds like fucking not well it's new metal, but it sounds more like death metal than anything. And you just see like the background of like Shayna Baszler beating the fuck out of Ember Moon in the performance center. I'm like, so you mean that I'm sitting there and I'm like, you mean to tell me we're actually simulating guys and girls beating the fuck out of each other, and we have music in the background to like replicate like intensity?
Yeah.
Like I actually got pumped up. I was like, all right, let's go, motherfuckers. Let's beat the fuck out of somebody. I just wanted a mosh. I legitimately I was like, fuck. I only want to be in that crowd just a mosh right now.
See, you know what the problem is? You know how long it fucking took. Like, I feel like Triple H understands these things. Like he's saying, like in the back of his head, it's like, yeah, I worked in one of the most profitable eras in wrestling. Can't we just do that? Can't we just like take all the good ideas that like the Attitude Era had and then just modernize them so that women can beat the fuck out of people too, and like things like music actually are like an addition. You're not doing an entire fucking concert, because WCW never got the message with that. Like they would end up like doing like a intermission and like doing a whole musical show, like a whole fucking concert, and like it never added anything to like the overall of the like the wrestling. Whereas this is just like a one song and it's only here to pump you the fuck up, like to go let's see a motherfucker get like a chair shot or something, or like get fucking like thrown off into a ladder or get the shit beat out of him.
Or let's just see someone get straight up punched in the nose. Yeah, but like they had two songs from the same band, which Cane Hill, they're a New Orleans band. And like I guess they're not too I guess they're pretty new to the scene. I don't know how when they got started or whatever the fuck, but yeah, like they had two songs and they only played the one. And obviously Ember Moon got a soundtrack, but I mean, and we'll talk about that match, but they had one musical performance from that band, one of their songs, one of the two, and then you had Ember Moon, who I marked out that they had fucking Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm.
Yeah, that was fucking dope.
At first I didn't recognize her. I didn't recognize her with the haircut, but I was like, I looked at her face and I heard her voice. I'm like, oh, this chick sounds like Lizzie. Oh, shit. I'm like, hey, what's up there, Lizzie Hale? And I like Hailstorm too, so I was like, fuck, this is awesome.
I didn't know she was the one that sang the lyrics for
see, I didn't know that either, and I don't even know if she does. I just think it was a special appearance.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't. If she did sing that, that'd be pretty dope.
That's weird. I never knew that. That's actually pretty impressive that if they were able to get that.
Oh, yeah,
Why does it always just seem like CFOS is like doing better for the NXT roster when it comes to like coming with better music?
It's just because they know that NXT is meant for not a younger demographic in the sense of little kids. It's meant for more of if you watch NXT, you're generally 19 to about 28 years old. That's like the standard. It's like if you're older than if you're just about 30 something, chances are you probably have kids, and you probably watch the main roster for your kids. But even then, you probably watch NXT on the side. So this is genuinely like directed toward that demographic of we're still kind of in college, post college, or even just about getting out of high school. It's not just for guys. Obviously, it's chicks too. I've seen chicks at a Takeover when I was there. So it's also indie nerds as well. So this is really like a fucking a cult following.
It's the same kind of thing like with Ring of Honor and like the same kind of crowd. If you'll see somebody going to a Ring of Honor show, and most likely they'll also go to an NXT show at some point too.
Oh, absolutely. Or NXT is pretty much meant for those people that are that either went to Ring of Honor shows, didn't want to admit they went to a TNA show, which you know what? Give them their due. Impact has become the lesser of evils right now.
They've actually been putting on good shows.
Oh, dude, I gotta tell you that I had this from Raw. This is the only thing I'll tell you from Raw. Kurt Angle actually name dropped TNA.
Oh my god, I feel bad for them because they're actually getting their shit together. It's kind of in a weird way. It's kind of like how Jeff Hardy's kind of fucking up right now. You want them, you secretly in your own way kind of want them to do well, but everything they're doing is fucking them up.
Oh well, no. Well, Jeff Hardy, he's back, so I think they're gonna keep him on the. I think he's gonna be on track now that he's actually on the road again.
See, we say that about Impact, but then they keep losing talent.
Well, by the way, before we go to run through the matches, Impact, very good on your part of releasing Del Rio, and I don't say that because I hate the guy. Well, not that I can't say I hate the guy. I don't really hate him. I just think he's a fucking... I think he's a fucking snake in the grass. He's a fucking con artist. And
he's a slime ball. He's a slime ball.
He's a fucking slime ball.
He's a slime. Personally, he's a slime ball. That's what I get. I get from the guy. He pretty much fucked up. He really fucked up Paige's career. I mean, she could have been back in WWE before then.
Yeah,
she could have had a couple of good matches. I mean, look, we don't know how badly. How bad her back actually was, but it probably didn't help that she wasn't rehabbing it and going all his fucking schlub matches. And you know what? And he knew the reason that he only got over was because people want the big top Mexican star, and bye-bye. They don't fucking need you anymore.
Yeah.
Cien Almos is way better than you. Cien Almos is 100 times better than you.
Do you think
he can actually work? He actually looks intimidating. He still has the language barrier problem, but I mean, as long as you put him with a good manager, you kind of don't need him to speak English.
You know what? Even though I liked Ricardo Rodriguez, obviously I'm going to take Zelina Vega a million times over him, and I've been saying ever since they gave Andrade the belt, and he had that and I thought he had a good match with Drew Galloway. I've been saying that he's the Del Rio, that he's the guy that when they look at him and they look at Del Rio, they're like, why the fuck did we not hire him sooner? And why the fuck did we give Del Rio a second chance?
Why did we give him multiple belts?
He's Mexican Jinder Mahal.
No, I mean, he's a good, when he's on, he's on. He's not Jinder Mahal, where Mahal is, hopeless. Where Mahal is so bad in the fucking ring that he can barely do the bare basics, and he can barely make that look good.
But we're in 2018 where WWE has, fucking, 23,000 guys and girls on the contract, to where when he's on, shouldn't even matter anymore. That's saying, that's legitimately saying, oh yeah, well, yeah, Summer Rae, or, she had a good match that one time, or, hey, it's no, you're creating Stockholm Syndrome for yourself. Del Rio, I can't, I sat there too, I was oh man, I enjoyed the shit on Lucha Underground, I can't totally shit on the guy. When people associate you for having more bad matches than not, and more passable programs than not, yeah, maybe you suck. And and obviously for Del Rio no-showed the event on Friday. They had to do Phoenix, Pentagon, and Austin Aries in a triple threat. It was originally going to be him teaming with Pentagon against Aries and Phoenix. And, Impact liked it so much, and I'm pretty happy for Pentagon and Phoenix that they liked the match so much that the pay-per-view now that they got on the 22nd, it was going to be Del Rio versus Aries for the belt. Now it's Ray, Phoenix, Pentagon, and Aries for the belt, and that's going to be a way better match. As a fan of Pentagon, I'm actually going to want to watch it, and, I'm going to hope he wins the belt, but I don't know. And for those that wondering, why did Del Rio no show? He was getting drunk somewhere with Carlito and a bunch of other people. They were doing a fucking a Instagram or a live Twitch video or wherever the fuck of them all just inebriated.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Del Rio was trash. Dude.
Show. I understand its impact, but I don't know. The booking for Impact has been rock solid right now, and because you want to get your foot back in the door of some major promotion, because who's gonna want to fucking hire you now? Really?
Wrestle Pro?
Oh yeah.
Wrestle Pro. They'll give him. They don't give a shit.
Characters. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They'll all. Pat Buck will open his fucking paycheck for him.
Yeah, that's probably the case. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What a schmuck. Yeah, let's get into NXT.
Yeah, let's get into this down here, shall we? Let's get into some good fucking wrestling. So we start off the night with EC3 comes out, and on television, I just want to mention this. On television, EC3, it didn't sound like he got a great pop, but it turns out that people that were live in the arena gave him a great reaction. It's just on camera for some reason they had the volume turned up really loud. Oh, mainly probably because they're trying to make him into a heel, and they didn't want too much of a loud reaction for him. But yeah, the place actually really went crazy for him. And also in the match was Killian Dane, Laura Sullivan, Adam Cole, who's obviously always over, Velveteen, who's always over, and the biggest pop was for Ricochet.
Yeah, for good fucking reason. Holy shit, man. Oh my god, this match. So many spots. So many good fucking the selling was on point too. You gotta say one thing. Of the guys in NXT, I think Dream fucking sells the best. When he gets clocked and then his body just goes limp, like he sells like Dolph Ziggler like level,
Yeah,
or
because you could
he's
tell,
fantastic.
you could tell he wants this. Like that's one thing. Like why I refused to watch fucking Tough Enough because I was like, this is the guy I want to win. I know he's not gonna win, but they're gonna give him a contract, and this guy is gonna eventually prove to people that hey, I fucking belong here with whatever I'm doing in the company. But yeah, like just so many fucking good selling points from him. Ricochet sold really well too. That's why like I laughed whenever any old vet wanted to say, "Oh, he's just another flippy guy." No, Ricochet is very versatile.
Oh my god! Remember that one spot though? Oh my god! Where he did the 450 off the fucking ladder, and when Lars Sullivan was pushing him off the ladder. No, he did a moonsault. Sorry, he did a moonsault off the ladder.
Oh yeah,
And took out what Killian Dane and EC3. I think he went right off the ladder into it was like 3 or 4 people, and he did the standing moonsault off the top of the ladder. Oh my god!
One of the brutal spots though was obviously that Death Valley Driver.
Oh god! No, I thought something was gonna. I thought they were he was gonna do something generic, he was there was gonna get a gut wrench suplex off the top of it, and then you just see him put him into the fucking the fireman's carry, and I'm like, no, this is just like a tease. He's not actually gonna. Holy fuck! He actually did the Death Valley Driver off the top of that, and then you see him. You see him take a gnarly bounce off the bottom when he hits the mat. It's you see Ricochet's fine, he hits it perfectly. You just I kind of held my breath when you saw Dream come down, because he he hit it at a weird angle.
Yeah.
And then he rolled out of the ring, and then you saw a fucking giant gash on his eye, above his eye, on his eyebrow. He had a fucking giant gash, and they you see the referee starting to apply something to it. There's a couple of guys that were bleeding too.
I don't know. I really didn't see a whole lot of blood though.
I noticed a couple bits and pieces where people were bleeding. Not juicing, blood on the head, but when you could see some people are gashed up a little bit. It was just and I've said this before. What the hell is up with NXT where these guys are? I mean, yeah, though the spots are more brutal, but whenever I watch NXT, there's always somebody will get thrown through a chair. They'll get hit with a chair. They'll go through a table. But even on spots like that, you end up seeing blood and shit. In WWE, it's when you see that, when you see a basic table spot, there's never any fucking blood.
Yeah. For the most part, you don't.
I'm did somebody fuck up? A piece of the fiberboard fucking go into their skin or something. No, I thought it was I thought it was a really good match. I didn't see Adam Cole winning it. I thought that was a huge fucking surprise.
No, I had I was either thinking I had it down to 3 people. I was thinking either Velveteen, EC3, or Ricochet. Or more
Yeah.
so, I was thinking more of Velveteen or EC3.
I was saying Ricochet because it would have like that. The whole thing was he got like the biggest pop. Would probably he's probably going to be chasing. I definitely think he's going to be the main guy chasing the belt.
Yeah.
Because I could definitely Adam Cole versus Ricochet is going to be money. So like regardless of like I think they're going to end up doing that. They're going to end up having him chase it, and then after Adam Cole loses the belt, he'll probably end up being like the main. He'll end up being the main guy chasing the NXT title.
I don't know. To me, even though I'd like to see him in black again. I really don't think he needs to fucking win the title again. I'm not one of these guys that are gonna sit there and go, "Oh, let's give Adam Cole the world," because a lot of people like that. I'm like, no, he's not that impressive in the ring to give him everything.
Oh, it's his charisma. I get the same. I get the same feeling. I just think that he's gonna hold the belt for a while. He's gonna have Ricochet chase him, and then once that's up, or you have because we both know, and spoilers, Black wins. We both know Black is gonna hold the championship belt for a while. So, I really hope right now they end up doing another feud between Black and Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
Because that's actually what everybody wants to fucking see.
That's actually what I want to see for the belts, not Adam Cole. I mean, yeah. Again, I wouldn't mind the match, but it's like, when you tell me charisma with Adam Cole, I'm like, okay, he has a basic heel. He has a little over a basic heel promo, and he just yells his name, and the crowd yells his name with him. Other than that, guys like EC3 and Velveteen have a lot more charisma than he does. And I'm not trying to hate on Adam Cole. Like, people mistake that as, I don't like the guy. I do. It's just a little on the people are overrating, people are making him overrated for me. That's all it is. But yeah. Next match.
Bobby, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. Next match is people. I'm sorry, a lot of you people ruined Bobby Roode for me. A lot of you ruined Bobby Roode.
I think Bobby Roode ruined Bobby Roode for me.
He had good matches in Impact. I can't say he didn't. But at the same time,
Geez, almost 40-year-old man who never had particularly great matches to begin with is suddenly going to be the messiah of wrestling. Who knew?
I love when people comment. I might as well just tell you because you're going to know. Bobby Lashley's back. And
yeah.
People are saying...
Yeah, I heard about it. No, it kind of got spoiled as soon as I went on the network. Thank you, network. Thank you for posting most of your results for Raw and SmackDown, the same fucking day.
Yeah, that's the network. You can turn that off, by the way. You can turn results off, but yeah. But anyway, though, so he's back, and people are going, "Oh, too old. He's too old. He's too old." But yet, the same people are yelling glorious, and I'm like, motherfucker, you're going by 1 year. It's okay
How are they? They were fine when Goldberg came back. They were fine when Bobby Roode did his whole fucking thing. They're fine with Nakamura. They're fine with Cena. They're fine with Brock.
AJ.
Brock is the bigger fucking cancer in the fucking the entirety of the wrestling world. And now you have Bobby Lashley come back, and it's a major fucking thing. And then the guy still looks fantastic. Guy's still doing really good matches. He looks like $1 million. He's like a Brock Lesnar that can actually fucking wrestle. and he isn't gonna go like 5-10 minutes. One question? I didn't see WrestleMania yet, but was the match at least longer than 10 minutes?
Not not really, but the crowd shitting on the match.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say Beach Bowls made their WrestleMania main event debut.
Oh my god.
The match was a little over 15 minutes, but followed by "This Is Awful" chants. So.
It's good. It's good to It's good to know that Brock redeemed himself last year with Goldberg, only to replace it with another horrible WrestleMania match. Okay.
Yep. And again,
Jesus Christ.
you cannot. I don't think you could blame Roman for that.
Oh no, it's I'm giving him a free pass. He the guy's just doing his job. I'm not a fan of Roman Reigns as the character, but it's not Joe Ananoa's fucking fault that he's been pushed to be the main guy, and the fucking writing staff hasn't given him anything, and Vince is completely out of his mind, and he could have, Joe could have had a good fucking career as like a mid-card guy, and if he wanted later, he could have gave him the fucking belt, but you wanted to push everything on him now, and the fans in the crowd and everybody's fucking turned on the guy, and the only way he could possibly get the fucking guy over was have this guy who's completely, past his prime and has been holding the belt for fucking ransom forever. And see, now I didn't even watch the fucking show, and I'm going on a rant. That's the fucking problem. That's the fucking problem. I just you could have got the guy over years ago. It's not hard. You don't build the guy like he's a fucking superhuman, which you give him the Superman punch and then like a fucking spear. Come on, you don't need another fucking superhuman guy. Just build the guy naturally and have him win the title eventually. You don't fucking just go, oh, he's gonna be champion now.
Yeah, well, that's their. I feel like things would have been different if Punk stuck around. So, but I digress.
So Lesnar could have fucking destroyed him too.
Ugh, don't give me nightmares. Don't give me nightmares. But anyway, back to NXT. We go on to Ember Moon defending the belt against Shayna Baszler, and I think Baszler kind of proved a lot of the people wrong that were saying that she's not ready.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm gonna say it in the gay angry voice. Oh hell no, bitch. Hell no. She's the main thing. Oh, okay, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, please don't.
Some of her LGBT listeners are like, oh, he's cute. Jesus Christ, no, that match was fantastic. This is another thing I'm going to ask you. Was one of the main roster matches better than this? I mean, the women's matches.
You're funny.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought so. Jesus Christ. They fucking rocking each other. Like the hits, the fucking
But dude, a lot of that is, I'm gonna say this though, a lot of that was due to Ember. She's a fucking she puts a lot of people to shame just by being a girl who came in from the indies. And she's one of the best fucking girls they got from the indies.
No, but I mean, there's a couple spots that were Baszler. The fucking dude, come on, the fucking arm, like the fucking lethal weapon, like you like popping your arm back into the socket by using the fucking ring turnbuckle, the ring post.
Yeah, she's now from now on known as Shizuki.
Yeah, she's Suzuki because she's a fucking catch wrestler. She's tough as fucking nails, and I'm pretty sure she would eat children. I'm like 100% sure she would eat children. Like, this is kind of why I wish, like, in a weird way, like she could end up joining, like, in later on in her career, she could be like the first female member of Suzuki-gun. That would be fucking amazing.
I mean, I don't know how old she is, but, you know, if she has enough promise, you know, why not? Yeah, maybe.
Oh, no. I wish she wouldn't talk as much, though, because she still has, like, Nelson Munn's voice.
Right? Dude, she talks like Bailey's older sister.
Yeah, she was like really hot. Like you would think she would be like really deep. Like her voice is so like high, and kind of it's intimidating, but it's kind of like a Mike Tyson kind of thing where it's like yeah you don't expect that type of voice to be coming out of that body, but it still kind of creeps you out. Like, but I kind of wish she wouldn't talk, and especially when she has the fucking mouth guard in. I feel like that kind of ruined her mystique a little bit when she was like coming out of the when she gets out of the ring and then she's like walking up like she has the belt and she's walking off and then she's like I told her and you can barely hear her and it's like Shayna, either take out the fucking mouth guard or just make a grimacing like angry face. You don't have to. First of all, don't talk because you sound menacing enough. Like you look menacing enough. You don't need to also try and like say something and then it's just like
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna do something like that, just come up with a catchphrase like like Goldberg barely fucking talked during his initial run. He just said who's next and that was it.
Even then, I don't know, maybe give her a mouthpiece, like a manager. But other than that, nah, she
Oh no, I love her. I love her as a fucking as a heel wrestler, and someone's just gonna fuck you up because she looks incredibly intimidating. Everything about her look, like everything about her, is how they should have booked Nia Jax, and they didn't. And she should be the new Nia Jax in terms of that bitch is gonna destroy people, like destroy dudes, destroy other women. Anything that gets in her fucking way is gonna get like fucking choked out and like murdered. And the fucking fact, dude, that was one of the most brutal things I've ever seen. Where she was not only brutalizing her like Ember, but she was brutalizing herself. And then she caught the Eclipse, which was fucking impressive.
Yeah.
She caught the Eclipse, and Morrow was putting her over. Like it's like no one's ever countered the Eclipse. Not even Asuka. Asuka was able to kick out, but never to counter it. And it was just like, wow, holy shit, they were like really putting her over, and then at the end, like the final spot where she has her in the chokehold, and she's like,
oh, I'm glad they held on to that.
Can't get a perfect fucking grip on that, like because of she's selling the arm.
Dude, they held that for they held that for almost just about a minute, and usually in WWE, like, they tap out or they pass out in like 5 to 10 seconds. This actually felt like you were watching a fucking sport, like a combat sport.
Like she's trying to get to like the side. She's like she can't. She has to switch arms because of the pain, and she's like grabbing her own fucking hair to like hold to keep the hold as long as she can. And Ember's like fighting her, and it's just like, Jesus, this is what we want. This is Triple H fucking gets it. Like in the main roster, it's like like 5 seconds and it's a tap out. As soon as it's put in, like you get like Becky Lynch doing the disarmer, or like you get, I don't know, any one of them, or like the bake statement or whatever else, and it's like the person taps out in like 5 seconds. It was like, shit, is she actually gonna like get out of there? Like this when it's a long hold, you don't know if the person's gonna be able to make it out.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. It's like, it's legitimately a tug of war, and they need to do more of that. They need to do more of that, and, if a wrestling fan, like, if an MMA fan, or even just, a boxing fan, anybody that's, like, looks down on wrestling, they're like, oh, yeah, wrestling's phony, wrestling sucks, wrestling's fake, da-da-da-da. They look at, like, little transitions like that, and they're like, oh, okay, like, at least it looks legitimate. It doesn't look hokey.
That's the problem, I think, that most of these, like most of these people that, like, watch up, like, the real, like, quote-unquote real sports, and I think they get annoyed because they're like, oh, well, if it's fake. And it is the same problem I have with one of my friends. He kind of says the same thing where he watches a TV show. He's like, yeah, I know it's fake, but if the fighting looks off, like the choreographed nature of it, the choreography looks like shit. He's not going to end up watching it because just for that, for the nature of the fact that it's hokey looking and it looks fake, and that's the problem with wrestling is they got to go back to the roots where it's like, yeah, we know it's fake in terms of the wrestling as a whole, but it doesn't need to look fake.
Yeah, at this point in 2018, if you're watching wrestling, obviously you're in on it. Like, there's, like, that's why I hate I don't really hate when people say, oh, wrestling's fake because, of the whole, like, oh, man, like, why the hell, why the hell you have to ruin it or whatever. It's not like 20 years ago where, like, someone would tell me and I'm, like, getting pissed off because, for the old school reasons. It's just now it's like, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, I know you see that online too a lot.
That's really what it is.
Like,
it's like
you get a troll who's just trying to be an asshole.
Trolls are different. They're doing it they're doing it to just pretty much get a rise out of people. Where it's like I don't like when the people say it where it's like they act like you don't know, like you're not smart enough to figure that out. Because at that point I feel like it's like, yeah, I get it. Wrestling insults my intelligence every week. I don't need you to do it. What do you think? We watch Raw for fun?
No, it's basically the same as like someone just like on the street calling you a dumb shit.
Dumb shit.
And in a lot of cases, it's usually your dad.
It's always.
Dumb shit, Mark.
Well, now it's you, so.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah. types. But next up, we had the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Due to Bobby Fish's injury, he couldn't compete, so we had the Undisputed Era defend their titles successfully. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. So Adam Cole was playing the Marathon Man in this event. He took on the Authors of Pain in their final NXT match. Also against Pete Dunne, who was the UK champion, and Roderick Strong. A lot of fun moments in this.
By God, man. Adam Cole was sleeping for a very long time.
I mean, he got fucking not just put to a table, he got fucking, planted to a table.
Jesus Christ. No, I like the idea though. Like they actually had a reason for why he was like, is they do the same spot with a lot of people, where they take a table bump, or like go through the announce table or something like that, and it usually ends up with it usually ends up that the whatever happened when it comes to that, it's like you get the guy and he's fresh and he takes like one table bump and then he's down for like half the match. Where here it's like, yeah, the guy already had bandaged up ribs. He already went through like a hell of a match beforehand. Like he went through fucking like how many different spots in the previous match. So it would make sense that the guy is not fresh. He's still kind of like fucked up. And he really doesn't have too much motivation here. It is like for a title, but like it's not his title, so it's like that's what I was getting from it. And
I think a lot of it had to do with, I mean, yeah, I'm sure Adam Cole was hurting, but again, this is the exact same point I've been making with this guy, where you put him in the ring with all these other guys. They run rings around him. And he's too small of a guy to just kind of be there to not do much. Like at least if he was more muscular, he'd be doing power moves and shit, and he could get away with it, and it's hidden a little more. But he's the guy of all these 205 guys. And I hate to say it. I hate to say it. But the rest of the Undisputed Era are 205 type guys as far as build.
Yeah.
And it's not even, nowadays, it's not even that much of a knock, because 205 is pretty damn good now. But, I mean, you can't compare a guy like Kyle O'Reilly or even Roderick Strong to Adam Cole, Or, well, you can't compare Adam Cole to them, I should say. But most of this match was AOP just showing off their strength. Like everyone played off to their strengths and hid their weaknesses. Like, I love seeing AOP just powerbomb people on top of other people.
I love that one spot that it was Pete Dunne was going after Kyle O'Reilly, and he gets him into it looked like a bridging triangle, and then or like it was like I forgot what it was.
Like a guillotine?
Yeah, it was a guillotine choke, and then
Kyle had him in a guillotine, and then Pete Dunne is like doing like the finger thing.
Yeah.
Which I would like to mention, I know we're going to get Roderick Strong versus Pete Dunne eventually for the UK title, but I would more so like to see Kyle O'Reilly versus Pete Dunne at some point as well.
Yeah, catch wrestler versus catch wrestler. That would be amazing.
Yeah, because to me, Kyle is the better wrestler, if not the best out of, like, between Roddy and Cole and Bobby Fish, I feel like is either on par, if not maybe a little bit better.
How long is Fish like off?
out.
Like, how long is he injured?
Maybe until the end of the summer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, do you want to just get into the end angle of it, or is there any other spots you remember? Do you want to mention beforehand?
Yeah, I think that was it for the match. I think I liked I liked the hot tag for Pete Dunne, and he just like cleared the fucking ring.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll just get into it then. So the finish of the match, it looks like Pete Dunne is gonna get the win. He hits the bitter end on Kyle, and in comes Roddy to break up the count. Ultimately turns on Pete Dunne and lays Kyle on top of him. Great turn. Totally didn't expect it. I will say it was kind of confusing when you have Kyle and Roddy going at it, and he also wrestles Adam Cole for a little bit. So it's like it was kind of like, okay, why, if you were to do this turn, why the hell were you going against them? But I guess it made it more unpredictable in that sense, where it's like, it wasn't so much of like a LOL TNA type of turn, but it was just like, hey, we'll take it easy on each other, but we'll do moves on each other, for now.
No, it just seemed like he changed his mind on the fly, because you saw
it could be interpreted in either way. Yeah, I guess.
The way it seemed was like he went out of the ring, and then he noticed like Pete. It was something there with it we probably didn't notice, like in just terms of like. I want to go and rewatch the match, because there's probably some kind of like subtle nod that there was like problems or beforehand, and like he gets it, like he's going for the pin, and then he's probably thinking to himself, "Hey, if we take this now, I'll be champion, but then how long before like they're full strength, or like we right now we could be like he's the UK champion. His mindset is that like he's there for like the UK title. He doesn't really give a shit if we lose this. We'll have the trophy and the championship now, like. But how long before we end up losing the titles right back to them? And it's like, it's just going to be an escalation. So it's like, I could be, I could join them now that Fish is out and become champion, and I don't even have to, like, I don't have to lift a finger. They can have the trophy. I'll join them. I'll become one of the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, because
then.
Because wasn't Roddy's whole story... That's a good point. Actually, you're really on the nose with that, because wasn't his whole thing... I tried getting the NXT title, for the sake of my son, and I failed. I tried getting the Cruiserweight title in the tournament, and I failed. I tried to get the tag title, and you know what? It was easier to just, incite a riot and Pete Dunne so I could get a match with him, because now I have this group with me, and not only am I are we doing the Freebird rule where he has the tag title, but now with the Undisputed Era in his corner, they could do underhanded shit, so where it's like in story it's almost a given that he would get the belt from Pete Dunne. So I feel like they're gonna give him the UK title now too, so like they would do the whole, Undisputed Era has all the belts except for the main one.
Yeah, pretty much. That would be really fucking dope if they ended up doing that. Then they could end up doing like a where like they go and attack Aleister, like later on they go and attack Aleister Black, and Sanity goes and backs him up.
Yeah.
So you can have like this whole Sanity versus Undisputed Era, and plus Aleister Black kind of feud.
Yep. Well, now, since you mentioned that, we go to Aleister Black versus Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT Championship.
Good match. Good fucking match.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they, like, you could tell these guys didn't like each other. Like, I mean, not like in kayfabe. I mean, like they, like you guys, like.
We just had a little technical difficulty here. Something just happened with. Oh, he's on hold here. One moment, folks. Sure, he'll be back. Yeah, unfortunately, he was in midpoint there. But, yeah, I think he's saying, I guess he's saying in story that they don't get along. But, I don't know. I don't know. We're trying to get him back on. Let's see. Do. Oh. Anyone that is curious. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, sorry, my device fucked up. No, like you could tell that they didn't like they in the kayfabe sense they didn't like each other. That they're like they're basically like trying to go as far as possible to like screw the other one over. They had Andrade fucking basically ambush him, like either like in the back and days before and attack him. Like they showed that he like shoved his head into like the freaking the ice cooler, and like beat the shit out of him like in the back area, like in like one of the during the they showed like one of the promos, and then they have a fantastic match, and I love that for the longest time we've never like. I'm just going towards the ending. I just wanted to say, like, have you ever fucking seen Aleister Black smile ever?
Nope.
Isn't it the weirdest thing to see him smile when he gets the NXT title? It's like it's just fun, like all that, like it. I love that Morrow line where he's like, it's like they've been saying like Aleister's been saying that he like for the longest time he's him with not winning the belt has been like the devil on his back, and then he says like now you give the devil his due.
Yeah. Well, see, Morrow knows how to catch him. Not only does Morrow know how to catch himself in certain situations, but Morrow knows how to fucking progress storylines just by a couple sentences.
And then when they said Aleister was the 13th different champion in NXT, I was like, yeah, that makes fucking sense.
When they said he was the 13th champion, I'm like, fuck, we're all getting old. I'm like, fuck, this whole, like, Triple H's NXT just started, like, 6 years ago. I'm like, damn. That was 6 years ago already. I remember the first fucking, NXT taping I saw. Didn't even have a belt.
That's actually not bad, though. Like, 13 champions? How many champions 6 years ago, I can bet you there's been like a fucking dozen different champions.
God.
Dozens of champions in the main roster.
After we're done reviewing Takeover or talking about Takeover, I'll mention how many there were on the main roster. But yeah. What were some of the spots and things that stood out to you in this?
Oh my god, Selena Vega, man, MVP. her fucking like just
Hurricanrana into the steps.
Yeah, no, just being the manager to like, like fuck, and she's doing these moves on the guys too. So it's like she's like going out of her way to like go and fuck these guys up, and like we've seen her do this shit before, especially in the match with Johnny Gargano, and she's doing her piranhas and like fucking these dudes up, and they're so slick with it. It's just like oh, I'm gonna take my championship belt in to like fucking crack him in the head, and the referees like you can't do that, and right behind him, she's giving fucking just like beating the shit out of Aleister Black, and I love the ending. The ending was fucking perfect.
Oh, I see. I thought that he was gonna accidentally hit Selena Vega with the black mass, but I like the whole like, she gets caught, and then like he's just running around in a circle with her, and then boom, a black mass, and then that's the finish. That was fun too. That was a good finish.
I thought it was brilliant because it's like she fucked up, and she almost took out him, and then that was the amount of time to give him to like actually catch, and that was perfect because he fucking had to kick over her to do the black mass. Because he's like Andrade is still holding her, and just the reaction of him getting cracked in the fucking head with the kick, and him dropping her like a fucking sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was perfect, and then she has to like roll out of the ring. She can't do anything because she's like still kind of like dazed, and you just see like her reaction, like, oh fuck, what did I do? They're probably gonna continue with the feud until he's pulled up to the main roster.
I'm okay with that. I like to see, unless you don't know, they could call him up on SmackDown tonight. So
probably,
because 'tis the season, they're doing call-ups. So
I think. Well, I definitely after. I think Vince would probably be, or Vince or Stephanie would probably more Vince, but Vince would probably pull him up. He's like, yeah, he's Mexican. Can he work? Oh yeah, he looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll keep the man in here.
She's nice and petite. It's good.
If it doesn't work out, we'll just split him up. She'll go into the women's division.
Oh yeah. Please don't, because the spots you give her are good enough, and she's not that great of a worker. I've seen her in TNA. She is not that great of a worker, believe it or not.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
That's why they have her as a manager, and she's not a wrestler.
She's a good talker.
Triple H is smart enough to to understand that.
Yeah.
Vince is the same. Well, they like the main roster was the people that say, hey, you know who we should split up? Lana and Rusev.
Yeah,
because
the two married people.
The two married people were and the manager that got over and I mean it did end up working in Rusev's benefit because him and Aiden English are fucking perfect. But yeah. I don't know. To me, it's just like, come on. Like at this point, stop fucking with these people. Let's just, if it worked down in NXT, just keep working with it.
Well, I think that's why Vince should have been watching NXT. It should have been watching it, but restricted from making any big decisions.
It's past his bedtime.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Vince has to eat his turkey sandwiches. Take his vitamins, work out 100 times, drink his Diet Pepsi, and then go to sleep.
Dude, I think he drinks V8s. I don't think he drinks Diet Pepsi.
No, he does. He does.
Oh, wow! You mean the guy actually is allowed to have carbs? You mean the guy he's allowed to have?
There's no carbs. There's no carbs in like the diet soda. It's like it's the sugar-free garbage.
Oh, yeah. My bad. I'm thinking of fucking there's the one Pepsi. Was it Pepsi Max or Pepsi whatever the fuck that still has carbs in it?
No, what I've heard, and I think Paul Heyman was shooting on him, and he was saying it was either Paul Heyman or somebody else that was like and they were talking about like Vince's eating habits, and he says Vince hates to eat.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard that. Where like they'll go to like the fucking they'll go to they went to like a deli, meeting. Like they would like before like they did like a booking meeting, whatever. Like Vince would buy everyone stuff, and he would just eat like fucking like pretty much turkey cold cuts, a little bit of mustard, whatever the fuck.
No, he basically pulls out like he was talking about. It's like Vince barely eats out. He barely eats out. The only time he'll eat is if he goes to like if they're in the Garden or in like Brooklyn, he'll
or Connecticut. He'll
stop into. What happened?
Or Connecticut.
Well, no, I mean just in general when he's in New York. Like if he's in New York and in the area, he'll end up going to Smith and Wollensky, and that's the only time he actually goes out and eats anything. It was like, Paul was shooting, and he was like saying, the only time Vince actually eats...
Oh, wait, this is Jim Cornette, actually. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, it's Jim Cornette. It was Jim Cornette, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Jim was saying that he'll pull out these fucking, like, dinky little, like, turkey sandwiches with nothing, barely anything on them. And he'll scarf it down with like a side of like either like some kind of diet soda or just water, or seltzer water or something. And he'll scarf it down as fast as he possibly can, like he's angry at the fucking sandwich. And it turns out like and I think Jim asked him once like why does he do that? And it's he says the turkey gives him protein without being like bad for his heart. And it allows him to work out, and it gives him energy for the rest of the day. Because that's the only thing he fucking does. It's just work on the like the pay-per-views and the main roster, and that's pretty much it.
I tell you though, if you actually gave this guy retirement, he wouldn't know what to do with himself.
Oh no, he'd be like a fucking dog, like circling around. He'd still...
all 6 of his grandkids would eventually hate him.
Believe me, he'd be getting them and like putting them into like wrestling shows against each other.
All right, Papa.
You're the daughters of Triple H. You can't even do a proper rest hold.
All right, Papa.
Out of my sight.
All right, Papa, we get it. I heard this story about Andre the Giant millions of times.
And that's when I told Hogan he's fired.
Oh God. Well, anyway, let's get into the highlight of NXT Takeover New Orleans, which was well, in my mind, the fucking devil coming out.
Oh God, no, I've never in the modern era I've never heard anyone get so much heat. I've never. And this
you
is
swore
small stadium, and somehow
no, it's not.
This guy.
That's not, dude. That's an arena. There was 13,000 people there.
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
I mean, I mean, like in comparison to like whatever WWE usually does, like the main roster.
Yeah,
like it's not the Superdome.
No, dude. For Raw and SmackDowns, they're in a normal arena. They're in the same arena that they were for Hall of Fame, and they are for SmackDown tonight and Raw yesterday.
True. I mean, like what I'm saying is like more like a stadium kind of like situation where like you have like a main roster, like pay-per-view?
Well, they're only in stadiums for WrestleManias.
I thought it's for like SummerSlams too.
No, Barclays.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in term. Okay, I'll just shut the fuck up because I don't know what I'm saying. No, I thought it was a smaller arena because of.
You
But
know what
yeah,
it
I
is. You
remember
know
you
why?
telling me it was
Well,
like 8,000.
you know why? Because when they because NXT does this thing where they shut the lights off on the crowd, and because they want everyone at home to focus on the actual match, not hey, let's light up the crowd so everyone's ADD could go haywire. We get a beach balls in the crowd, and it's like a whole ADD mess basically, where as NXT. It's like, hey, let's focus on the actual wrestler. Let's shut all the lights off except for the lights that shine on the ring. But yeah,
True.
yeah. Tommaso Ciampa came out he came out like he literally came out as if like
I think you said it best. Where you said that he came out like he crucified Jesus and then
I didn't want to say that on the show, but yeah, basically.
He came out like he crucified Jesus just to re-crucify him once more.
Yeah, no, he resurrected Jesus. Yeah, people were chanting "fuck you, Ciampa," and then people were saying that were there live were actually chanting "die, Ciampa, die."
I've never. I mean, that's fantastic that he's gone heel heat like that, because usually heels are like the heroes. But by God, that guy. I've never seen someone get that amount of heel heat ever.
And then it was also said that people were trying to cheer him, and those people were getting booed at and chanted at, "Shut the fuck up."
That's amazing.
So the fans in the place actually made it seem like you cheer for this guy, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, no, that's.
It literally was like if you were in like a building full of Democrats and then Donald Trump walks out.
I swear to God, that's amazing because in this day and age. Jesus Christ! It's like that's 80s heat. That's 70s heat. That's the heat where people are throwing shit into the ring bad. Like that is amazing. I saw. Remember that spot where he gets power bombed from the apron into the concrete, and they're chanting "You deserve it."
yeah, exactly my point.
And Morrow's like, yeah, they're right. He did deserve it, piece of shit.
Yeah, and Johnny fucking came out to like. Johnny literally came out like he was fucking the third coming of Jesus.
Oh my God, man.
Oh, by the way, I also liked when they were on the table and the crowd was chanting "Mamma Mia."
Oh yeah. I love that whole bit where he got like whiplashed right into like the announce table, and then for like 2 minutes, all you could hear was Nigel.
Yeah,
that was amazing. That was such a good touch. Oh my God, there's so many good, just overall spots. I loved that fucking avalanche, like a power bomb into the knee.
Oh, Ciampa's finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the whole part where he's like taking off, like he did it to his own knee, like just to just to finish him off, but he's so hurt. And it's like he's just, the more hurt he's getting, the more he's like taking his wrist guards off, and like the wrist tape, and then he's taking off the knee brace, and it's just like stripping, like almost stripping down to like his bare body, like just to destroy this guy. Like there's so much hate that's flowing through him that he needs to use everything to his own knee brace, his fucking like crutches. I loved that he took the crutches away from that fucking guy.
Oh yeah, I mean you knew it was a plant, but it was a really good spot.
I love him screaming to the referees like, "Oh, you moved them, and then he goes over, and the plant is like it looks like this schlub that has a broken leg or is infirm or something, and he's just like screaming at the guy and then fucking taking the crutches. I wish it had actually been a real guy.
Oh man, yeah. You wanted this guy to like really get fucking hated like he was a fucking Antichrist.
Dude, he looks like the Antichrist. The fucking beard, dude. He looks no joke. Like he looks like he could be like the cruiserweight member of the fucking
He's not cruiserweight anymore. He's not cruiserweight anymore. Now he because not for nothing, dude's a lot more jacked again. He's not as lanky. Because Ciampa was a different. Ciampa was weird.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if he went up to the main roster, I'm not saying he should be the cruiserweights. I'm just saying, like, he would look like he was like the cruiserweight member of the fucking Wyatt family.
Yeah,
he is like that. Yeah, like the beard and bald look, the crazy look to him.
Yeah.
I love the Morrow just being Morrow, who usually doesn't take an opinion on anyone, was just like, yeah, he's a kind of a disgusting, deplorable human being, and he's just fucking putting the guy over as a heel. And you're just like, yeah, that fucking guy is such a smarmy piece of shit.
No, they had fucking Candice LeRae. This was amazing too. They had Candice LeRae on the pre-show because I wanted to watch the pre. I had nothing going on at the moment. I wanted to watch the pre-show, and Candice is on there, and she's like, he was in our wedding. He was in our wedding party. And she just drove Johnny insane to the point where I want my husband back. She's like, Johnny doesn't sleep. Johnny just kind of just stares at our wedding pictures. And he's just kind of he used to be really excited, can't wait for his wrestling matches. Now he's just in almost like a trance. She's like, he's not the same guy I married. And his best friend changed him. She's like, this guy was family. We were going to make him... She's like, when we were going to have kids, we were going to make him the godfather of our children. And then, they interviewed Drake Younger, who's the ref, and they're, asking Drake his opinions, and they're like, well, Drake, you're going to call it right down the middle, right? And he goes, yeah, I have to. And he's like, so, if Tommaso Ciampa is the one that's going to get pinned, are you going to count it, or the pin or submission in Ciampa's favor? He goes, yes. And then you see Candice just looking around, and they're just quiet for awkwardly quiet for 10 to 15 seconds, and she's just looking like she's about to have a meltdown.
Oh my god.
It legitimately made you holy shit. They're making this beyond what they really made. They really took what ROH did with Steen and Generico, when Steen turned on Generico back 10 years ago, and they made it better.
Oh, they made it. This was I don't know how to really describe it. I think these two series of matches that Gargano's had in the past couple of months have been they're both match of the year contenders.
Oh, dude, Johnny legitimately is one of the best fucking wrestlers. He has every bragging right to have that claim too. He has every fucking right.
I cannot wait till he Because I kind of don't want him to be on the main roster right now, but could you imagine a match between him and Daniel Bryan and him like passing the torch to him?
It could. Oh, I would say that should happen at a WrestleMania.
Yeah, that would be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, that should be a WrestleMania moment. But the ending spot was tremendous, where it looked like two friends that they're just. It looked like for a second, like, are they just gonna hug it out? And they just, is it an actual moment where they were actually gonna, be like, I'm sorry, let's stop the fighting, let's stop all of this, and it just transitions into the.
I looked at it like, holy shit! Like he has like the like the brain like the crutch, and he smashes it. He broke it in two, and he's like the whole part of it is just like it's so like corroded, and like the part of the metal is like jutting out. He's about to hit him with it, and he's just like Ciampa's just like looking at him like with like regret. Like he's just like kind of like dude, come on, my leg is. He's like you see him like my leg is shot. I can't go anymore. And one eye is like puffed up like completely like almost black and blue. And like he has like that kind of like the like sad look on his face, and you kind of understand because it's like he's doing all that shit, but it's still like your friend, like he's you've been through through thick and thin, and it's like he lowers his guard for like a second there, and then you see the fucking brace in the background, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna hit him with it, like. I swear to God, I thought like at that point it was just gonna be like he was gonna hit him, get the 1, 2, 3, and then they would like somehow like they'd bullshit it later on. But I loved the fact that he went to do it and like Johnny knew what he was gonna do and just ducked it completely and then turned it into he turned it into the finish.
He took the knee that was fucked up, put it into STF, and then took the fucking knee brace and then wrapped it around his fucking face. That was so indie in the sense of, or that was like, and not in the sense like, oh, like, that's not like a big time finish. It was so indie in the sense it's like it was creative beyond WWE's point.
I mean, there were so many,
and it looked organic.
There was so much creativity.
It didn't look planned. It didn't look planned. This match honestly almost looked like these guys were allowed to do a lot of the shit they did.
Like they were just doing it off, off the cuff, they were. Like they were improvising through most of the match. Yeah, I could believe it. I could believe Triple H would say to both these guys, "Look, you do your match, just stay within these parameters. Like you can't be, you can't juice. Don't no major like headshots." He probably set some like ground rules and parameters to the match itself, and then he says, "Just go nuts, but don't like do anything really really stupid."
Yeah.
But oh my God, there was so much stuff here. I mean, just the fucking like the opening where they're like. There was so much hate there. Like he just does like the fucking Luthez press, and he's like beating the fuck out of him. And they're just like they're going at it like they're just from the opening volley. It's just all punches, just like dozens and dozens of punches.
Yeah. So A plus show.
Yeah, I don't think there's been. I don't think I've seen a more perfect show. Like this is perfect. This is. This is a classic pay-per-view we're going to be talking about for years to come.
Yeah, this is a show. This is a show where you would actually show, people that haven't watched wrestling in a while. It's like, hey, don't even bother watching Raw. Just watch this for 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, it sets up everything that they do afterwards, like in going into the next episode of NXT, and then going forward, it's like a perfect jumping on point for NXT right now because everything is in flux. Like you're setting up, like you're basically setting up the feuds going down the line for the next couple of months.
Yeah,
and I'm vaguely like wondering what's next for Ciampa and Gargano, what they're gonna do with them next.
Yeah,
I know this feud is done, but I wonder what they're gonna, who is gonna feud with who now. Like Gargano. I think like either Gargano is gonna try and maybe, you know what, I could see Gargano feuding with maybe going after the North American title. I could either see him or Ricochet going for that title.
Oh, fucking damn it. Jesus. Fuck. Don't quit playing games with my heart now, huh? Fuck. Ricochet and Johnny Gargano, yes, please. I'll have tons of that. And those dudes are good friends from their days in Evolve together. So they would have tremendous chemistry. But you want to talk some points of what you saw from ROH?
Well, yeah. What did you think of that show? Like, if you were gonna grade, well, obviously we both know what your
Could I feel? Should I? Or it's not a matter of could I? It's should I talk about the problems that they're having with the network?
Yeah.
So all right, so I'm watching NXT, and meanwhile, me and Pat had talked about this. They should have not done this show on a Saturday. Because right off the bat, people were going to compare it to NXT, and that was a problem. That was a real problem. Because I'm sure there's people that went to this ROH show and then watched NXT, and they're like, oh, I was a dumbass. But, yeah, I'm trying. I got NXT on my television, so I'm trying to get this on my computer, and I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, it's almost 8:30. The website's not working, so I'm like, all right. I wait a little while, and turns out they don't get it running until a little after 9:45 ish, almost 10 o'clock. The website was down because their servers fucking crashed because they have problems where their IP servers can't handle all the people that are trying to get on at once because they did not build a fucking a designated domain to just their network. No, they put their network on their regular website that they have all their news on, that they have all other videos on, that they have everything that they need to get to, people to buy tickets, to buy merch. Everything's on one website, and the servers can't handle that. So the entire website just keeps constantly crashing. And this is the second time this has happened, or maybe even the third that this has happened. Not to mention, when they're on pay-per-view, it's a little different because they don't do intermission, but when they're doing a show with intermission, that's like 15-20 minutes right there, and they have all different entrances and build up, so they eat a good amount of time doing that. meanwhile, this card with intermission included was a 5-hour show. It ran till it ran till just about 1:30. It started at 8:30. And on the actual website now, there's only 3 hours worth of the content. So if you bought Ring of Honor's website right now, you are not seeing Kenny versus Cody unless you saw it live, and you are not seeing Dalton Castle versus Marty Scurll. And it's Tuesday. This happened on Saturday, and they still have not updated it. So you had to look through YouTube, you had to look through other websites just to see Kenny versus Cody if you did not see it live.
I watched it. Well, I don't have the Ring of Honor Club. I do, but I don't have the network. And I just watched it on YouTube. For the most part, I saw as many cards as I could. I'll say I didn't watch like the first couple matches, but I did catch. I caught the main event. I caught Cody versus
Kenny.
Kenny, and I saw Marty versus Dalton Castle.
Okay.
And I saw the Soul Cal versus the Young Bucks plus Flip Gordon, and I did see Coda versus Hangman.
Quite honestly, and it pains me to say this, if you add in Ishii versus Martinez, which is a pretty solid match too, everything else was meh.
How was the women's match? I didn't get to see that.
Dude, that sucked.
Really?
It sucked.
Wow.
The crowd was fucking dead. It was no one cared.
I'm actually surprised they didn't put Emma as the champion.
Dude, I think that's what people were pissed off. Sumi Sakai.
She's okay.
She's okay. I don't know. She's okay. And it's the same thing with Kelly Klein. She's okay. She's not great. But yeah, I think people were bummed out. I didn't see Sumi versus Emma because, at that point, I was too invested in the ladder match, and also too, I will never, ever, ever, ever watch both cards back, at the same time. That is the last time I'll ever do that because, holy fuck, was like my attention divided. But yeah, so I didn't even watch Emma versus Sumi, and I probably won't go back. Maybe I'll go back to see the reaction to people, but I'm pretty sure people were pissed off that Emma lost. But yeah, no one cared. People were actually booing when Sumi won.
I guess that was the whole point, though. Yeah, she is a heel.
I don't even know if she's a heel. I'm sorry, I don't follow.
That was the reaction I got when remember when we went to Manhattan Mayhem, and she was doing most of like the heel spots, like she was just like being a piece of shit. I
didn't realize that.
Yeah, she was like. I think you missed that when we were in Manhattan Mayhem.
I did miss that.
She is the heel.
I was online. Okay.
Yeah, she is the heel.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I've seen enough of her in, like, Jersey All Pro and, every now and then on ROH cards, but it's like, I didn't see enough of her where I'm like, yeah, let's give her the belt. And I know people are probably, like, some of the fans that will actually like this chick, they're probably like, oh, you only want to Neil Dashwood to win because she was in WWE. Nah, not really. She's actually a really good worker. And she's actually marketable having the belt. I guess you could say they could do a chase. They could always put the belt on her, but...
I think the problem was, though, they probably didn't want another, like, backlash. They didn't want a backlash with Emma or Tennille Dashwood.
Then why not put the belt on Kelly Klein and build her as like? Because I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, but the crowd is not invested in someone that is from another country that they have not seen in that country. Like people look at Sumi Sakai and they automatically are gonna think, oh yeah, she's from Stardom. I don't watch Stardom. And that was the problem with this tournament.
And
that was
you know
a
what the
real
thing is?
problem with this tournament.
They probably wanted to like, oh well, we have an Asuka too.
That's another thing too I didn't like about it. I didn't like that. I didn't like that it was like, oh yeah, like Asuka's going for the belt. Yeah, we could do that. And it's like that's what it makes me just think of.
It's like, yeah, it just seems like a move that like WWE would make.
No, it's a move that TNA would have done. It's like when Daniel Bryan got the belt. They gave Eric Young the belt the same week. And that was when Eric Young had a beard and long hair and everything.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. Let's see. Silas Young and Kenny King should have been better. That match wasn't... It wasn't the drizzling shits, but, you know, it was... For a few
two guys that are really good,
that are really good. Yeah, there was something that didn't click there for some reason. The Briscoes against Tanahashi and Jay Lethal was good, but it was, you know, it was a standard tag team match you would have probably seen on television. It wasn't like a pay-per-view match. Really, the matches and Ishii and Punishment was fun too, but you know, a lot of that was due to Punishment being Punishment, him flying around the ring. He almost killed himself in one spot. He goes to do the suicide dive over the ring post, and he almost jerked his neck on the floor. Yeah, he almost killed himself a lot. Ishii just suplexing him off the fucking top rope. You know, they complement each other really well. So for that alone, it was really cool. Coda and Hangman was Cody and Hangman. They were really good together. Trying to think what else. Chucky T and Jonathan Gresham was meh. It was like,
I could think that would probably be a.
It was a decent little opener. It wasn't too much. Really the best match, and I know people are gonna. Say are gonna shit on me for saying this, but I kind of liked the ladder match with the Bucks and SoCal more than I did Kenny versus Cody.
You know what? I'm gonna say I saw that match. I thought it was good. I just didn't think it was better than you know what was my real favorite match? And let's just talk. I'll reveal it when you probably know which one it was.
The main event.
Yeah.
Marty. No. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. And again, I'm not trying to say Kenny and Cody sucked. It didn't suck. I'm just saying it wasn't with all the hype that went into this. It did not pay off like people thought it was going to.
Well, it's because that's and I know the reason why is because they're saving. Like, do you really want to blow your load right now? Like you said, like
they should have not done the match.
They
should have not even done this feud until September or August.
No, but they're building, dude. You got to build the feud.
I understand. I feel like but I feel like for the next 5 months it's gonna drag. Dude, I'm already sick of the feud. I'm sorry. I'm already sick of it. I'm already... Dude, like, I'm watching BT and I'm like, oh, God, let's just get this over with.
They're probably going to end up, like, letting it go for, like, a couple months, and then, like, right around when All In happens, they're gonna bring it back.
They should go they should go their separate ways for a while and then bring it back. But I can't see go another 5 months consecutive. Can you know why? Because because BTE is what's building this storyline, and BTE, because I just watched 100 and I don't want to give anything away, but yeah, I watched that and I'm like, okay. Alright. It's just too much. It's too much of, I don't know. It's just hokey. They're just making it hokey. That's my problem with it. It's not. It doesn't come off as a legitimate feud. It just comes off as kind of campy. And too much campiness is gonna ruin this.
True.
That's why I'm getting like a little annoyed with it. I mean, don't get me wrong. If people enjoy it, good. That means they're gonna make money with it, and that's what they need. They need to make money with this feud. But from my perspective, make it a little more serious. I mean, I don't know. It's just, to me right now, I want them to take a break.
Oh, come on, dude! It's a fucking Bullet Club, man. They're known for not being fucking serious. Like, their feuds have always been like fucking like.
But again,
stupid.
I hate to say this, but you're talking about. I saw the Bullet Club since it first started, so for them to go what it was to now, it's like, all right, this isn't what the group was. The group was not fucking Bears and boy bands. It was Finn Balor bloodying the fuck out of Hiroshi Tanahashi and bringing out fucking guns and bazookas and shit. Like, they were trying to be as fucking vicious as possible, and it's just 5 years later it turned into something totally different.
True, but come on, we've known this for the longest time. Dude, come on, you're seriously telling me with like Kenny Omega doing half the shit he does and like being like he's.
I want Cody out of the Bullet Club already. I just want them to move on. I don't know. It's just, there's just so much shit with it now. It's like I can't fucking. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna like say like, oh fuck this, I'm done. I'm just like, do something a little different. If it's gonna be 5 months of hokiness, then it's gonna be like, all right, then I'm fed up. But
yeah,
right now,
dude, it's always been hokey. Look at how they got rid of fucking Adam Cole.
Oh, I know. That doesn't mean I agree with it. But hey, you know what? I mean, again, they got popular from it. Congrats to them. But it's not what the Bullet Club was. That's all I'm gonna. If they got rid of the Bullet Club name and made it to we're just the Elite, then yeah, that's fine. But it's like you attach Bullet Club to what Bullet Club was in 2013, 2014.
How long have you thought this way?
I've been thinking it on and off for a couple of months. Ever since I started watching more BTE, and I see the shit, because I didn't know what they did with Adam Cole. I didn't know what they were doing because I wasn't watching Being the Elite yet. I literally like binge watched it about like a couple months ago, and I saw everything they did. I was like, oh wow. Like, and don't get me wrong, people like it. Again, fine, good for you. I'm glad because they make money.
Is it because of the Joey Ryan dick thing?
That's another thing too. That's another thing too. That's another thing too.
Come on, come on, you're being beach ball right now. You fucking love the Hardys and all their fucking shit when they were in TNA, and now you're suddenly, oh, it's too hokey.
I'm not saying it's too hokey.
Okay, yes you are. Come on. You're saying it's too hokey. This is the problem. Like, people are like fucking just like randomly turning on. Like, I sometimes I'm hypocritical and fucking say shit like that, but come on, you're chanting the Elite, the Elite. Now suddenly you fucking turn on them because now they're doing slightly hokey stuff, but they've always been hokey. They've always been doing this shit. Come on, like, really?
Again, it's just,
you can't take it too seriously. Jeez.
I'm not talking. No, I'm not talking about. Listen, I'm not talking about what they're doing. Is like, all I'm saying is take the Bullet Club name away. Call it the Elite. Call the group the Elite. Don't call it Bullet Club. That's what I'm trying to say. Because you're attaching what Bullet Club was, a fucking killer group in Japan, to now, what it's become, and it's just let it be the Elite, let it be its own thing. That's why it's like now I can't get behind Toru Yano, because the guy went from smashing beer bottles in people's faces, drinking a flask, and spitting fucking moonshine in people's faces to now, I'm gonna have a water bottle with me and a DVD, and I'm just gonna roll people up. It may be funny, but it's like, yeah, you went from being a fucking badass to a fat Santino Marella.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think you've been watching too much Cornette, dude.
No, I've been watching a lot of Matt Riddle and Suzuki being the fuck out of each other, and where I'm like,
those guys are catch wrestlers. They're meant to do that. Like, you have other. Look, I'm sorry, but the Bullet Club couldn't continue to be the Bullet Club how it was forever. But I mean, it's not like they're like the entire group is like that. You see, like the OG guys and like.
Oh, they're not, obviously.
Like you see like Bad Luck Fale and the Tongans, and they're like, yeah, like that. The entire group is like that, but they're entertaining. So who the fuck cares? They want to call themselves the Bullet Club. Let them be the Bullet Club. How many times before then? Even before then, how many times did the Bullet Club embarrass themselves but having Bone Soldier or fucking
You got a point. Hey, I'm sorry, you got a point.
You had Bone Soldier and you had Bone Soldier and you had Jeff Jarrett as Bullet Club members, and you're telling me, no, the Bullet Club is amazing. They had such a good lineage beforehand. The Young Bucks are killing the business.
Oh, come on. I'm not going that far. I still love the Young Bucks.
No, it's because you're saying it now. Like you're saying, you're gradually getting there, Bobby. You're like, they're gonna call themselves the Bullet Club, and then next you're gonna be like, oh, they're killing the business. I don't like their corny clown shit.
Well, I mean, I did like Joey Ryan before he started doing the dick spots every week.
Dude, whatever gets you over. It's a business. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. That's how I look at it. If I don't like something, if I don't like someone, I won't watch the match.
Oh, like how I named for you the 30-second Lesnar trial, where it's.
I'm gonna have to watch that later. Stop. I'm gonna be really angry. Bonesaw is gonna come out. Bonesaw is gonna come out and rip him to shreds.
Can you do me a favor when you watch that match? Because I know right away you're gonna message me. Could you just record spur of the moment audio, just ranting on it? Like your initial reaction, whether it be a video or anything.
I'm gonna, dude. No,
I want your initial reaction.
I feel like I'm going to an execution now. Like I feel like I'm gonna this is you making me watch the fucking Ring, like the movie from Ring. Like Brock Lesnar is gonna come out of the TV and bore me to death.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be sitting. I'm gonna be sitting in my chair, in my rocking chair, just with my mouth open, with my eyes ablaze, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm just never gonna talk again. This is the type of match you're making this out for me. I feel like I'm gonna be very angry. I feel like I'm gonna be very angry, and this is why I'm you're really bullshit. You're really getting angry at Ring of Honor about their hokey bullshit where they're consistently having good matches. And
I'm also looking at NXT, and then I'm looking at Ring of Honor. I'm like, okay, yeah, no. That's the dude. That's why it was a problem of Takeover being so good. It's like I look at everything else. I'm like, why couldn't you be that?
Aw, come on.
No, I'm serious. I looked at every show this week.
We do this every year, and then we go, oh, the Takeover's amazing, and then suddenly the quality goes down when they have all their call-ups, and then you're like, oh, NXT's not good anymore. Oh, Japan is good. Oh no, Japan, they won't let Okada not have the belt. Oh, okay, Ring of Honor is good right now. Okay, and then Braun Strowman like throws a 50-ton tank across the ring, and then you're like, oh, now we gotta watch Raw again. You're gonna laugh, but you know that's true. That's how things end up happening. Whenever you and everyone else in the wrestling fans have like a fucking short attention span. If anything suddenly isn't the way you want it to be for like more than five consecutive months, or it becomes boring, you just go to the next. That's the problem though. Like they need to learn how to like keep our attention for longer than one fucking reign. You know, like one championship reign, because we get so bored sometimes, or we get annoyed with how things go, and then we're just like, no, I don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the climate of the climate of the business now. That's why a lot of it has to do with the Attitude Era, where it was like, hey, look, Stone Cold Steve Austin's now, fucking putting a gun to Vince's head. Oh, hey, look, The Rock and Mankind are hitting shit at each other with steel chair. Hey, look at ECW. Somebody's falling off a balcony. Hey, look at WCW. Goldberg just beat Hulk Hogan in the fucking Georgia Dome in front of like 50 people.
Yeah,
hey, look, it's like.
But like, the problem is like, if a company's not hot-shotting at the moment. If a company's not hot-shotting at the moment, we get fucking antsy, and then we're like, oh, this sucks. I'm being honest, but like
you're not wrong.
Shot every fucking single time, because they're gonna completely burn us the fuck out on everything. This is kind of the same reason for like why all these like extreme impact, like kind of like CZW, like these major like garbage wrestling, like violent, ultra violent, hardcore companies are starting to like you're starting to see less and less of them, because they can't continue to exist the way they have been, because you can do an ultra violent match every once in a while. If the wrestling's good, then I don't mind it as much. But when you see like two idiots hitting each other with light tubes, it just becomes, hey, it's two idiots with light tubes. It's like every other bullshit like hardcore match. You get what I'm saying, right? We're getting to the point where all the wrestling now is just there's no more flavors of it. It's just all starting to meld together.
You know what wrestling is like now? You know what? This is the perfect analogy I could come up with, and then we're gonna close it here. Yeah, but here's the perfect analogy that I've been gathering with the music business now, with since October, when it comes to like at least new metal now, and pretty much everything's similar to it, where it's like, okay, for instance, here's the example I've seen like in October, it was like, hey, look, Five Finger Death Punch is covering The Offspring's Gone Away. Hey, now Breaking Benjamin has a really crazy song called Red Cold River, where it's about a father who's trying to find who killed his daughter. Hey, now this band Bad Wolves is doing a song called Zombie covering the Cranberries. It's like there's a new hit for like that 3 to 5 weeks, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, here's something else. And it's like you can't no one could invest in the album anymore. It's, hey, now look, now there's this, now there's that, now look at this video.
Yeah, the wrestling business is the same fucking way. It's like,
But also too, dude. This is also what it's like in television. Think about it. Think about what it's like having a conversation with people now. And for someone that doesn't keep up with as much television as other people, I can have more of a broad opinion where it's like too many people go, hey, watch like years ago it was like, hey, watch The Walking Dead, now watch it. Oh, we don't watch it anymore. Hey, watch Stranger Things. Oh, we don't watch Stranger Things anymore. Hey, watch The Punisher. Oh, I didn't really like The Punisher. Hey, watch it's like it's too much of that. So wrestling now is exactly like that. Everything, the whole climate is like that now. The entire climate of media is like that now. Everyone is everyone has it. Everyone's lives now are a Snapchat story. That's what it is.
Oh my god, that's so fucking true. Yeah, basically we've gotten to the point where it's like we're a Snapchat, like you just like we're like a Snapchat or a Facebook or Instagram where you just like flip. Like, you flip through things, and you're like, oh, I like that one, I like that. It's basically, we have no more time for anything. So we, like, if something's not catching our attention anymore, we just, like, we turn on it, and then we go to, like, the thing that is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's basically what's happening in wrestling. If something that is not catching our attention, or we get annoyed with it, or we don't get, like, get on board, like, at the time that it happens, then it's just like we just instantly like we don't give it any fucking time anymore.
Yeah, we just disengage.
That's also a problem because if you end up giving something like time, like we've given, how long has WWE given Brock Lesnar fucking time to like, be a good champion? And
you know what? No. You know, though, like, I realized it, like, this week, I thank you, by the way, because you're the one that, I was almost, like, in, like, a fucking, like, I was, like, stuck in, like, a warp right now, where you're, like, Eric, you're a Bullet Club fan, right? Like, you've been watching this for so long, where I'm like, no, but I was watching this and that and this and that, and it's like, yeah, but where the fuck was everything else? Like, not for nothing. When the fuck has anyone ever really talked about Game Changer Wrestling until, like, WrestleMania weekend with Joey Janela's Spring Break and even this new Bloodsport show? Where it's like no one ever really talked about this company.
Yeah.
And now it's like they come out with two pretty good shows and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah, but it'll be like
it'll fade out.
Like they have a mediocre pay-per-view or something like that. Like it happens. Like you not every single pay-per-view is going to be like A+. Not every pay-per-view is going to be fucking NXT New Orleans. Hey, it's not going to happen.
Maybe do you think we just cracked the code on why WWE's been so piss poor? That maybe they're just like, yeah, like we just come out with good shows every now and then because it's like why bother try to why bother try to kill ourselves?
Well, that is the case. We've look, to be honest, like they understand because they have to. Well, they're making money. They're making money because they're the big game in town. And you're gonna laugh, but they're Randy Orton. The company is Randy Orton. I don't have to kill myself anymore. I've made my money. I'm gonna make money at every show I go to, regardless of the situation.
And I'm gonna try every now and then.
I'm gonna make money off the fucking network or DVD sales or whatever else.
And I'll try every now and then.
Every once in a while, I'll give the fans what they want to watch. I'll give them a good match. I'll give them something that they'll go to their smart buddies and say, "Oh, you're gonna watch WWE again." And that's the case. But with them, they don't need to do that, and that's also the problem.
I got another tremendous example. You know what? Monday Night Raw is like Baron Corbin, where it was like for like the majority of the year, it's like meh, like whatever, just meh. And then like the night after WrestleMania is Baron Corbin's performance at Fastlane, where it's like, oh man, like, you know, holy shit, this is pretty cool. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, no, but
back to normal.
That's generally what happens. And now when I think about it, like I really think about it, it's like NXT is basically like, we think of it as like the AAAs, like where like in baseball where you have to prove everything, and then Major League, like when you get to the Major League, then you have to do like all the crazy shit. Like like everything's on like steroids that you're going at an even faster pace. But what it really comes down to is wrestling's not a sport. We think of it as, hey, when you get to WWE, you're at a higher level, you have to do all this extra shit. No, that's not the case. WWE is where you slow it down. Like, you slow it down, but the paces of the amount of matches that you end up doing over the course of the year is astronomical. Like, you'll do, like, maybe two or three times what you would do in NXT. So, what it really comes down to is, you're basically like lowering the quality of your match because you want to have as long a career as possible because you're making money, and by that point your star power is already planted you as like a top-notch star, so you don't have to kill yourself the same way you needed to. Basically, you want to drive your stock up and do as little as possible so that you are already a star and don't need to kill yourself every single match. And that's what WWE is. It's basically, you go there when you're a big enough star in your own right, and then you basically live off your own success. They give you a check to just show up, do a couple spots, and then that's it. You're basically in fucking slow-mo. And that's the reason that and I always thought about it. Like, I always thought about, like, why do all these guys want to go there when they know they're getting, like, everything that they used to do is, like, watered down. Like, they don't give a shit anymore. They want to make the money. They want to go somewhere where their stock actually matters. And the problem is, a lot of these guys, they go there and they'll take the paycheck, but then, like, once their stock starts to drop, then, like, it's the same way with Cody Rhodes. He went somewhere where his stock mattered, like, where, he knew he would make the most money, and he knew he wasn't going to make it in WWE because he was always going to be a mid-carder, so he left. And then it's the same case in WWE. Like, if you're never going to be more than, like, a mid-carder, and you're not going to be making the same amount of money on the indies, then leave the indies. And it's the same case with WWE. If you're not going to make the same money you would be making on the indies, you can go to the indies. Yeah. But WWE is basically a retirement plan. You're done. Is true. You've done everything you can do in the business, so you go there. And Triple H is basically, hey, the guys that want to watch the niche wrestling, the guys that want to see, like, the really good wrestling, can watch NXT. Because it's where we have these guys that are not quite ready to be, retired yet, but can still have, like, these amazing matches, and we put them on NXT, and we have them there for, like, a while, and then once they're ready, and once they feel like they had done everything they need to do, they get brought up to the main roster. And maybe once in a while they'll have a great match there. But basically, it's a retirement plan. They get a fucking action figure. They get, like, a video game. They do. They do sit on the main roster, and then that's it.
Yep. No, you're right. You're not wrong, though. I mean, for years people were like, "Oh, TNA is the retirement plan for for vets," but WWE is really, really where the plan is, because it's like WWE knows how to make money off of you well beyond you're gone. Like, no. Steve Austin has been retired for 15 years, and they're still making money off of him for the past 15 years.
They're still selling his merch.
Andre the Giant has been dead just as long as I've been alive, and they've been making money off of him. Hell, they got his documentary coming out tonight.
Yeah.
So, WWE knows how to make money off of people.
They're gonna milk everything they can off you for the next forever, even till the day you die. But you don't care because you're making the money, or your family's making the money, and you are set. You and your family are set for life. Once you go to WWE, and I understand. Like, as a fan, I get annoyed because WWE can fuck some of these guys over. Especially guys that are, like top talent, guys that in any other part of the world can be, major stars. But, it's the same thing. But like, as long as you don't burn your bridges, like obviously Cody could always go back. Certain guys could always go back. Like, as long as you don't burn bridges like completely with WWE, you leave in good terms. You can always go back, and even if you leave on shitty terms, you can still go back.
Dude,
case in point, Jeff Jarrett.
Dude, Hulk Hogan is talking again to WWE. Fucking Bruno Sammartino testified against WWE in court over the whole steroid thing because of David Sammartino being on steroids. The WWE is totally okay with mending fences again. Cause the one thing you gotta give them credit is although they can be childish and they can be vindictive and they can punish people, they're not one to write somebody off forever unless you did something really... Even, like, look at the rumors, like, with Macho Man, where it was, like, the rumors with him and Stephanie, and then they still welcomed him into the Hall of Fame. They still, made money off of him. Before and after he died. So, yeah, WWE is not one to completely write you off unless you are Chris Benoit, which in that case they kind of have to, whether we like it or not. But anyway, that'll do it for this episode of AM Thunder. We're gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna do one shortly. I'm gonna try to do one in a few minutes for everybody. Again, it'll be pre-recorded, and I'm gonna throw it up on YouTube. And we could probably be back next week on next Tuesday. It's up in the air. I'll let everybody know on the YouTube channel and Facebook and everything. So kayfabetalkradio.com, facebook.com/kayfabetalkradio. We're all on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at EricTheRed211. You can follow me there. You got our good old beach ball, J.R. Earl's art, whenever he decides to show up. And then Mr. _ Bonesaw for all your gripes and complaints in the show.
Can we just go to West Virginia and just stiff the shit out of him, stretch him out a little bit?
How could you stretch out a beach ball?
Oh, you pop them first, and then you stretch them out.
That a girl.
Okay, but in all seriousness, if he doesn't show up in the next, and then this is an actual challenge to Beach Ball, our good friend J.R. Earls. If he does not show up, I will start to send his matches to the world famous flea market.
If he does not show up, if Earls does not show up, if he does not show up by his birthday on this show, I'm gonna send his matches to Impact Wrestling.
Oh no! So wait, can I still send mine to send his to flea market? So I feel like they would really tear into him.
Do both.
Oh, God.
Do both. Anyway, till next time, folks. Keep it kayfabe.
Bitches.